Jim Barnett here for Warriors TV, and we're fortunate today to have the 2012 NBA draft picks of the Warriors selections. Number 7 pick, Harrison Barnes out of North Carolina. And the last pick in the first round, that number 30, Festus Ezeli from Vanderbilt, and Draymond Green from Michigan State, picked at number 35, but projected much higher than that. But I don't think you're disappointed at all. All you guys here in the Bay Area, and after the press conference that you were able to talk and be interviewed with some of the media here, you're all pretty excited about it. You're happy to be here, Harrison.
Yeah, I'm extremely ecstatic, obviously, to be here, to be a part of this organization, and to be with, two other guys here who are, high character and high class. You
told me earlier that this organization, that you got to know them just prior to the draft, and no one expected you to fall to number 7. This was a crazy draft. You were projected anywhere from 2 to 5, but the Warriors fortunate enough to get you, and you know that you're wanted here.
Yeah, I know that this, organization is, extremely hardworking. They're very passionate about winning. So obviously at the top, we know ownership, to the GM, to all the people that, have invested money in this, organization. And, we're just trying to, come here and try to help the team whatever we can.
Festus, you have a very unique story from Nigeria. You've been in the United States now 8 years. You came over in 2004. Did you really get cut from that high school team in Sacramento?
I wasn't very good. I didn't know how to play basketball. You can kind of see how that would work out, but yeah.
And the only organized basketball you played prior to your collegiate career, 4 years at Vanderbilt, was with an AAU team, and you got discovered that way.
Here in Sacramento, yeah.
How were you able to transfer that kind of lack of skill and lack of experience to go to a major university? And you had a lot of offers, by the way, from major schools. You picked Vanderbilt, and you come out of Vanderbilt after 4 years as their all-time leading shot blocker. So you've learned how to play since then.
A little bit. It's been a lot of work. The coaches have really done a great job with it. When I got there, I was very raw. It took a lot of frustration on their part, frustration from me, of them trying to teach me how to play and all that stuff. I was able to leave there, and I was pretty successful by their standards, yeah.
And Draymond, at number 35 pick, you were projected much higher in the draft there, and somehow the loophole happened, and the Warriors were ecstatic that you were still on the board. And it's nice to be wanted by them, but you're an all-around basketball player. They can't pigeonhole you and say, oh, you're a 3 or you're a 4 or a 2 guard or whatever. You just know how to play basketball.
That's one of the things that, I've really sold myself on, is that, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a 3. I wouldn't say I'm a 4. I'm just a basketball player. You put me on the court, and I'm going to do whatever it is that I have to do and whatever it is that I need to get it done. And, as far as being there at 35, like you said, of course I thought I was going to be gone, but when I saw that I was going to the Warriors, I was ecstatic about it, especially along with these 2 guys, bringing in a draft class like this and looking at the pieces that we already have. I love winning, and you put some places like this in place, and with the guys we already have here, I think we can start winning some games.
Well, I know you guys have been out to the Bay Area for a few days here. What are your first impressions, Draymond, of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Area?
It's beautiful. Michigan, we don't have all the bridges and the water and all that stuff. We just got land. So, I come out here and you can see all these different things. It's beautiful out here.
Harrison, it's been a different trip for you. You started in Ames, Iowa as the top high school recruit a few years back, and you go to North Carolina playing for Roy Williams for 2 years. You wanted a national championship, but you have to be very pleased with your class. Well, you're come out after your sophomore year, but when you think about Kendall Marshall going at 13, John Henson going at 14, and Tyler Zeller at number 17. Have you talked to those guys? 4 players from North Carolina this year that went in the top 17 picks.
Yeah, I've had a chance to talk with them, and obviously, winning national championship was, the ultimate goal. But it was so nice to, have teammates that were able to, cross this, next step with me. Obviously, John, Kendall, and Z, they've worked extremely hard in their games as well. So it was not only nice, for me to get drafted that night, but also to have my teammates drafted with me.
Most college coaches would want to keep their players as long as possible. But I sense that Roy Williams was a real advocate for you and encouraged you that you were ready to go to the NBA and then take that next step.
Yeah, he didn't have any personal bias in it whatsoever. We all knew coming back this year that it was probably going to be our last run, obviously because this was Z's last year. And, when it was that time to make the decision, he was, very forward about, I think you guys should leave. I think, this is a great opportunity. We had 2 great years, Elite 8 runs, and I feel like you guys can all go high in the draft.
He said that you were very analytical and had a very deep mind. I read a quote about that. And is it true that you're reading this summer Don Quixote and it's in Spanish?
Yeah, I speak a little Spanish, but yeah, I always try to ask Coach Williams a lot of questions that he probably didn't expect. But I always wanted to know what was going on, how he saw things, and I have learned a lot from him.
You plan on at some time in the future going back and finishing your degree?
Oh yeah, I mean these guys they can hang their hats on their degrees, so I'm kind of the young guy with no credentials, so I definitely need to go back and get that.
Let me ask you, Festus, at Vanderbilt, that's a terrific academic school as well. What was more difficult, playing basketball or just going to class and keeping the grades up?
Man, I don't know. Going to class was pretty tough. I mean, the school work with basketball, that was, I don't know, they were neck and neck. They were neck and neck. It was tough.
Seeing as how you got such a late start playing basketball, probably imperative that you stay 4 years of college, and that's benefited you. So now with your size and growing into your body and understanding the game a little bit, and you're a quick learner, you're a very intelligent young man, you think you're ready for the NBA, and what are your expectations for this team playing alongside and learning from a guy like Andrew Bogut?
I'm very excited for this year coming up because, I mean, just looking at the team, looking like he said, looking at the key pieces we have, I mean, there's nowhere to go but up for this team. And we're just excited to have winners on this program and just ready to start that tradition.
And Draymond, you're not only ready to compete against established NBA players already at any position, you're ready to go against Harrison Barnes now?
Definitely. Harrison is a great player. And one of the things that everyone said I have to work on is defense. What better player to play against than Harrison if you got to work on defense? The boy, he can really score the ball. So, we played them, I think 1 year with him there. And they thought I was going to have to match up with him. We ended up matching Brandon Dawson up with him to save my energy for the offensive end, chasing him around. But, that's what he do. He scored the basketball. So if I need to work on defense, it'd be great to match up with him and work on my defense.
Well, you've already worked out at the Warriors practice facility a little bit to get acclimated. Do you see that you guys could play maybe some one-on-one games every once in a while?
Definitely. We both got the size. He got the offensive skill. I try to hang my hat on toughness, and playing against him and watching him play, I know he's very tough. So if we do, it's definitely going to be some battles.
Well, I think the entire Bay Area media, the organization, and myself included, very excited about all three of you, each and every one of you, to be part of this organization. And it's amazing. None of you are overwhelmed at all. You very, very well spoken, and that's attributable to your parents. They did a great job raising you, and we're happy to have you here with the Warriors organization, guys.